across the city on 98.7 FM. New Style Radio.
Newstyle Radio, 98.7 FM. And it's your weekly, normally we talk geopolitics and the finer things of computer science. But we're going to do a little bit of a change today. We're going to talk musicality. Yeah, music vibes. And I'm joined again by a regular to the airwaves of Newstyle Radio, Brent. How are you, sir?
Good evening, Aston. Everything is fine.
Cool.
I'm doing really well.
Good.
To be here.
Fantastic. And today, we'll start with some music, yeah? Shall we crack on?
Crack on.
Brilliant. And I'm thinking, I'm going to go for... Let's have a look here. Right. Go crazy. Yeah? That's what we're going to start with.
Let's go crazy.
Go for it. Slight technicals there, yeah. We'll be with your regular program. Will begin shortly.
Getting over you slow. And they say, oh, lovers should never be friends. I'd ever see you again. I need you for when I go crazy. When I look into your eyes, I go crazy. I get that feeling inside. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Listen now.
Newstyle Radio.
Newstyle Radio, and that was the awesome dulcet tones of Brent and the lads. Very tight band. Very, you know what was really making me trip, yeah? Was the saxophone. It's an instrument you don't really hear that too often in a vibe, but when it's done well, like your good self, of course, it's just amazing. It brought back so many memories, that track. It was very nostalgic, but still like here in the present. Wonderful. Talk about the track, Brent.
Okay, so Go Crazy was written some time ago, but I thought it would lend itself to a nice lovers rock melody. What I done, I put myself in an environment where you was probably had a long lost love that you may have seen in a party environment, at a club or at a bar, and you know, your feelings for her didn't diminish. So that's what the words was all about. I used some of my best friends for the talking at the beginning.
Oh, cool.
To create that sort of party environment. And then it's just really, you go crazy. You know, your blood pressure goes up, your heartbeat goes up when you see that girl you used to be in love with, and you still got feelings for her. So yeah, that's what you do. You go crazy.
Good stuff. And now, and is it available? Can listeners grab it anywhere from their Apple store?
Yeah, definitely. It's available on all platforms.
All platforms. Good stuff. Right, I think while we're cooking and while all the equipment's working here, I think we should play another track.
Excellent.
So we're going to dip into, let's try Truly. Yeah?
Truly
it is. So here we go. Brent, more of his repertoire, blessing the airwaves, of course, as he does. A regular to the show, yeah? We should have you on at least once a month, yeah?
Absolutely.
No problem.
Tell me only this, that I have your heart for always, and you want me by your side, whispering the words, I'll always love you, and forever I will be your lover, and I know if you really care, you'll always be there. Now I need to tell you this, there's no other love like your love, and as long as I live, I'll give you all the joy my heart and soul can give. Let me hold you, I need to have you near me, and I feel with you in my arms, this love will last forever, 'cause I'm truly in love with you, girl. I'm truly head over heels with your love. I need you.
Newstyle Radio 98.7 FM, Truly by Brent. Yeah, classic there. The thing that strikes me about Brent, it's the quality. It uplifts. It's so precise, yet not in a pretentious way, in a way that evokes class, quality and prestige. Yeah, it's just great. I just love as an artist myself, like, you know what I mean? I can really appreciate, you know, really good talent. And it brings, you know, listen to it, it just brings back memories of, you know, putting on the good clothes, you know, the hard bottom shoes, putting in a bit of effort, you know, the ladies, yeah, just that great stuff, yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, well, I would say having a day job as a quality engineer, I had to
I can relate.
project that in my music.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I have to say I work with other quality engineers in music as well. So,
Yes. Big up Spears, yeah.
Absolutely. And when you put it together, you know, with these producers, Alvin the Hornblower, Mark Gordon, these people who got involved and helped me on this journey, we can get to produce quality tracks coming from a place like Birmingham as well, you know.
Innit?
So big up Birmingham strong, you know.
Bram, yeah, doing it large, still, decades later.
Yeah, Truly's doing very well. And,
Okay.
you know, it's just been there. It's like probably a year or so now since I've done that track, and just keeps popping up everywhere.
Do you and you gig, right? Is there any gigs coming up anywhere where people can catch
Yeah,
you?
I'm going to perform at the Northampton Carnival.
Okay.
And I currently lead sing in a band called the Track One Reggae Band.
Okay.
We're working on some stuff, and we're gigging now, but we're private gigging. But when we start doing more general gigs, you know, I'll let you know.
No problem. No, not that. I mean, I don't really frequent places of alcohol, yeah, but you know, I'll be there in spirit, yeah. You see what I did there, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's all good. It's all gravy, yeah. Now, onto things like the current scene, the current atmosphere of music. Like, you know, I'm always like keeping my ear to the ground and trends and what's happening and going on there. And it appears, you know, that there isn't a lot of live band energy. It's all very corporate. You know what I mean? And I'm just wondering, with a song like, you know, what we've played, I always imagine the visuals for the presentation. And I'm working on sci-fi films, as you know. But one thing that's always intrigued me, there was a film called Attack the Block. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. Attack the Block. Adam and Joe, does that ring any bells? We're on Channel 4.
Actually, I have heard of it.
Yeah?
I think I may have even seen it.
Yeah, black guy. It was a guy.
I think it's John Boatega.
That's right,
in
yeah.
it, yes.
Brilliant.
I've watched that, yes.
And at the end, it had the reggae tune.
Yes.
Yeah, that's how it ended.
Right.
And I'm thinking, I don't hear Lovers Rock in films.
Yeah.
You dig?
Yeah. I mean, my Truly has been accepted by the BBC, so
Brilliant.
It's been ticked off that if it was to be ever used in any film or theatre, it's got the thumbs up already because the BBC has accepted it.
Brilliant. So, you know, I mean, I'm cheekily asking if there's a possibility that we could use the track, yeah?
Oh, definitely. It's all licensed.
Fantastic.
It's all been brought.
All sorted, all together, right? And it's coming up to 7 o'clock, top of the hour. And coming up later on in the programme, I'll be doing a deep dive into all things New York and Jay-Z. That's another story, yeah? Newstyle Radio 98.7 FM. And we'll be continuing the energy with I'm not sure I'm impressed with what that's better. my mic, innit? Because I got my earphones on here. I remembered them today. But right, we're going to wind up with another track. And this one is Love Song, yeah?
Love songs.
Love Songs. Okay. For your listening pleasure.
See how it used to be. It used to be. It used to be. It used to be. And the happiness we had made life so easy. So easy. I lied to you, baby, and I know I broke your heart. So don't cry for me, lady. Things ain't how they used to be. Used to be, used to be, used to be. The love we had feels empty. All the love, it feels empty. Things ain't how they used to be. Used to be, used to be, used to be. You don't spend no time with me. Never spend no time. Love songs reminds me of the times we shared. Times we shared. Times we shared. Times we shared. We were so in love. This love could never be compared. Could be compared. Could be compared. Remember when we used to kiss at your front door? We don't even, baby, hug anymore. Things ain't how they used to be. Used to be, used to be, used to be. The love we had feels empty. All the love, it feels empty. Things ain't how they used to be. Used to be, used to be, used to be. You don't spend no time with me. Never spend no time. Things ain't how they used to be, darling. Used to be. You don't spend no time with me. All the love, it feels empty. Things ain't how they used to be. Used to be, used to be, used to be. You don't even talk to me. Never spend no time. Yeah. Love songs reminds me how it used to be. It used to be. It used to be. It used to be. And the happiness we shared made life so easy. So easy. So easy. So easy. I'm still in love with you, baby. For you there is no replace. This feeling you can't erase. Things ain't how they used to be. Used to be, used to be, used to be. The love we had feels empty. All the love, it feels empty. Things ain't how they used to be. Used to be, used to be, used to be. You don't even talk to me. Never spend no time. Love songs. Love songs. Endless love. Love songs. Like another love can
Broadcasting across the city on 98.7 FM. New Style Radio.
Newstyle Radio 98.7 FM, and this is the weekly. I haven't got a name for this show now, but you know it's me, yeah, my regular slot. I'm here with Brent, evoking vibes of yesteryear, good energies in the present, chaotic 2025. I get this feeling, if this was an energy, say about, I don't know, there was a time 15, 20 years ago when a certain vibe from the Black Caribbean community would sort of hit the airwaves, the ether, and then we get a Bitty McLean, and you get me. I'm just feeling, obviously we're in this internet, social media kind of vibe, but I get the feeling this track, your music, what you presented, would be just one of those moments that would engage Britain. You know what I mean? I really do believe that.
Oh yeah, definitely aim to please.
Yeah, man, it's quality stuff, mate. This is top drawer stuff.
Thank you.
You know,
very
it
much.
really is, you know. And what it is with me, it's knowing the personality, knowing the pedigree and the passion. And it's in the music. Trust me, guys, listeners, what you hear, that's what Brent's like, yeah? He's literally like that, yeah? He's a dude, yeah? Proper. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
great stuff, mate. Yeah.
Thank you.
Love it, love it, love it. Good. Now we're hoping. Right, let's talk Desi. Yeah, Desi from the Reza. You need to pop in, mate. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna put this on YouTube. Yeah, and I'll email it to you. Yeah.
Thank you.
But we need Desi here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Desi from the Reza. He introduced me to Brent. Yeah. Bless his heart. Right then. So Brent, please elaborate and elucidate on the track, the loveliness that you just blessed the airwaves with.
Okay, yeah. So, Love Songs, it's also available on all platforms. Brent Hansen. And yeah, this track, Love Songs, it's slightly personal. There was a time I was in a relationship where probably not much was going on, and I kind of wrote that song through a similar moment where, you know, things didn't used to happen the way they did, and that's where I got the inspiration for that track. Yes, I also don't think that writing sadness in a message has to be a slow, boring song. I think you can get the message across with a great melody and still enjoy the song, even though it's a bit of a sad message.
True.
And I do believe that sometimes when you hear a song, you kind of can reminisce on a time you used to be with a certain person you may have had feelings about or was with at a certain time. So I hope the message gets across to people. And yeah, that's my latest single at the moment.
All right, that one's hot, yeah? That one's out there.
Yeah, that
The
one's
latest.
out there. Yeah.
Cool, groovy stuff. Now, onto things coming in the future. The
Yeah,
plans.
so I'm currently working on an EP, which could probably turn out to an album. I would love to get it finished by this year, and that would be very, very exciting for me.
Yeah.
As you know, this all started with one record.
True. Yeah, innit?
Yeah, and I've been blessed by a lot of DJ support and
Fantastic.
family support.
Brilliant.
And support from, you know, the girlfriend and everybody
Brilliant.
in the vicinity, like yourself. There, Aston.
No
So,
problem, man. No problem.
it's been wonderful and great, and I really appreciate you having me here today.
No problem. This is just what I'm here. I'm here to serve the community. You know what I mean? And as I've said, I'm sure someone's done it by now. You know, the idea of having like a show, like 10 hours of just pure Brummy based talent is well doable. I think it's been doable for probably a couple of decades now, but you know, stuff like that. So I always like to introduce listeners, or when I podcast, but I tend to put this on YouTube now or Spotify, and then people who are sort of interested, they get to hear some interesting vibes that's indigenous to Brum, yeah? So it's not all about the piling up bin garbage and all that corrupt nonsense, yeah? it's good vibes, good music, and definitely in the times we're living in currently, Brent is definitely the remedy we need right now. Thank you, Brent.
Thank you so much.
And hopefully we'll have you on in the next couple of weeks, maybe. Will you come back?
If I can get down here, I'll definitely get down here.
Oh, fantastic. We look forward to it because, you know, so many connections. I don't know if you know Steve, who works with Spears. He works at Lazelle's, the place on the corner. I forget the name of it. I can't remember the name of it. No, not ringing any bells?
No.
Okay. Because I worked with one of his nephews who was in a film. He's a great actor. Because where I lived in Winson Green, a lot of the youth used to congregate. And at the time, we're going back to 2007, 2008. And I just linked up with a couple of Hollywood people who invested in a film I was working on. And I had like £5,000 worth of Apple Mac equipment. There was like 20 guys hanging out at my front door. And I made a decision. I said, you know what? I'm just going to let them come in and use the equipment. And bless their hearts.
Yeah.
They looked after the place.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And it was one of the uncles of one of these young chaps, Hawkey, his name, who knew Steve, his name's Steve, who introduced me to Spears.
Oh, okay.
That's how I met Spears.
Okay.
Through these wonderful young... And then the young man went... I didn't know he was an actor at the time. But I was working on the Black International Film Festival and he appeared in this film. I was like, that's one of the chaps.
Right.
So, all these wonderful connections. Every time, you know, you come here and I see Spears' name on the track, it's that whole community Brum thing. Because we hear so much negativity.
Yeah.
But we're so like... I tend to call Birmingham like a big village, yeah? Because we're so interconnected.
That's right. You don't know. You just don't know. But yeah, truly, it's got a video. You can see it on YouTube as well. So.
Cool. Oh, you shot a video, did you?
I shot a video for Truly.
Fantastic.
So you can see that on YouTube and YouTube Music. Yeah.
Brilliant.
I'm concentrating on whether to do a video for love songs. I think that could be in the pipeline. I've got some ideas.
Brilliant. Good stuff. Right, we're going to dip back into our... Don't worry, people. We're going to be covering AI and the current Trump tariffs after the music intro to the show. Yeah, so thank you, Brent.
You're welcome.
And hopefully we'll catch you in a couple of weeks.
Thank you.
Peace out.
Peace out.
Nation. Jay-Z worships Satan. Netflix is in hell. No sci-fi supercell. Season 2 is done so. Beyonce a witch hoe. New wave agency is Satan's portal. Rapman owns no series. Supercell now ceases. Jay-Z getting sued. Black boys getting used. Rock Nation is for Satan. Curse the rock, say amen. Diddy sucking semen. They are serving apes. Rapman works on my 5. Jay-Z ends his Netflix. Nothing from the remix. Supercell is dead. Supercell is over. Corrupted by the hover. Zesty sucking demons. Jay-Z ends his Netflix. Nothing from the remix. Supercell is dead. Supercell is dead. Supercell is over. Corrupt and hover. Zesty sucking demons. Hedonistic heathens.
Broadcasting across the city on 98.7 FM. New Style Radio.
Newstyle Radio 98.7 FM with Aston Walker, your weekly diet of geopolitics, AI, all things weird going on planet Earth. We don't know about other dimensions, jinn dimensions, other esoteric places of demonology, angels and powerful beings. All praises due to Allah, of course. It's been a strange week, hasn't it? Been on planet Earth. But anyway, we'll go through the menu. So we'll be talking about Labour Party. Dan Norris, who's been arrested. Yeah, so more from that weird camp. We've got UFO Tic Tac making a return. And we've got the tariffs, the Trump tariffs. It's all going a bit hectic. And we'll kick off the discussion as I extemporise, as I free flow of consciousness across the New Star airwaves, Ofcom approved, of course, and we just got to get straight into it. So, as you know, I've been covering the sort of P. Diddy, sort of Jay-Z axis of black Satanism, of what formerly known as black excellence, but we're calling it black Satanism now. It's very clear they are enemies of black people to be fought against with their Aleister Crowley, Lord Curzon Satanism, which we abhor, which we do not co-sign anyway. But anyway, Jay-Z's charter school, and this is via the Gothamist, great publication. It's a very in-depth online report. It's in regards to a charter school that Rock Nation had sort of put together, and unfortunately it seems like it was a big scam. It was reported in the Gothamist that students would be not, they wouldn't get into debt basically. Their tuition fees and so on would be looked after. At least that was how Jay-Z was selling it. A couple of homeless people, people on low income, basically from Jay-Z sort of former demographic when he was growing up. It's all gone caca-poo-poo. Yeah, they're complaining. Their tuition fees in the blurb, in the small print, wouldn't cover living costs. People were couch surfing. The young people had to put together an improvised sort of recording studio, which is horrific in of itself, being as Jay-Z's a billionaire. So that's all blowing up in his face, coupled with Alex Spiro, Tony Busby, the lawyer that is litigating against Jay-Z and P. Diddy with multiple salacious sort of charges of impropriety against minors and people who worked with them, sex workers, male and female, of course. And it's just horrific. And then on top of that, Jay-Z's been sued for fiduciary negligence, courtesy of, I believe it's Patel, who versus Block, which is Jack Dorsey, formerly ex-Twitter. And they're being sued. Cash App, which was used for nefarious purposes. So it's all piling on. So clearly, this is just my theory. This is just an Aston Walker theory. Umbrage has been taken with the Jay-Z, Diddy, Satanist excellence. You can't really call Satanist excellence, can you really? But what was formerly black excellence, sorry. He's clearly upset a higher up, someone who's far more powerful, more resourced. And it's just relentless, one after the other, after the other, after the other. And again, it's tainted the creative science fiction pool in the sense of Supercell, Ratman. Still no production date. I'm still sort of like looking into it, doing the research. Mukhtar Mohammed, I believe, one of the producers, Henrietta Lee, Olsen Group. So these are like the stellar chosen ones of London, the metropolis. Gigs is also involved. They do music videos for gigs and so on and so forth through the Elixir. And they're all embroiled in this mess via Tim Westwood, the BBC, and the historic cases of sexual abuse. Black women, might I add, yeah? Black women who have come forward. So it's a big mess. This is all alleged, of course, for the covering the station, the broadcast itself. Don't want to get sued yet, especially by that lot, that shower. You need a shower just talking about them, really. And the coming collapse, because the Diddy trial, I believe, is going to be in May sometime, and that's where ish is really going to hit the fan. The full exposure, the criminality. Lest we forget, the music that was produced, played 1Xtra, BBC or Capital, and all that stuff. The raves, the parties, the memories, and so on and so forth. We've all been dragged into this portal, this vortex of nastiness, of dirty, bad mind, wickedness. You see? And that's how Satanist works. It's inversion. Yeah? So they invert what is good. And this sort of satanic counter antichrist sort of energy is how we are, against our will, subconsciously we agreed insofar as accolades, enjoying the music, well, obviously very talented musicians, of course, that Jay-Z and P. Diddy worked with. However, as I was discussing with some young people yesterday, the energy is what these people tend to do, and this is Netflix, Hollywood, and all, you know, BBC and so on and so forth. They look for vulnerable people who are very creative. You don't have resources or 1 million views or 1,000 views, and they take what they've produced and they merely amplify it with their well-resourced backers and so on and so forth. And then you're left in this situation where you say, oh, well, that was my stuff. That was mine. It's not yours. It's not yours. They're rich. They're rich. And we live in this sort of materialistic, satanic society where just because someone drives a Bentley or wears a certain product or a Rolex, that they're deemed to be superior. So there's an element that we're all to blame. We're all sort of paid. I mean, I don't now. I used to go cinema, but I don't now because I get this feeling that even the act of paying for a ticket or subscription, you're literally contributing to the satanic mischief of these executives, people that, you know, you don't necessarily know their names or whatever, who are behind the scenes. We have the litigation between Solution Grange and UMG, Universal Music Group, and Drake. I believe he won a bit of a victory as far as looking at the contracts. They're not like us, the big diss track and so on and so forth. So it's a complete mess, and it's a global awakening. There's definitely something in the air where ordinary people, the great unwashed, are waking up. And still we have the rags like the Guardian and the Sun and these horrible satanic British journalism, which I can't stand, Semaphore and Huffington Post, all these weirdos, are still not grasping it because they're part of the problem. Daily Mail, of course, called me a vampire. 50p, man. Long story. So they're not doing their job because there is no journalism. You know, sorry to burst bubbles. You know, there is none. There's no investigative getting to the core. Why isn't the Birmingham Mail looking at the corruption in the Labour Party, for example? As I said earlier, Dan Norris, MP, he's been excluded. He's been kicked out of the Labour Party. And this is via the Daily Mail, of course. So he's been arrested for rape and child sex offences. So, again, another Labour MP close to Starmer in his orbit, part of that nexus. Creepy as hell. Weird. Very strange. How many more? And of course we have the historical paedophile information exchange, PI, various MPs, Corbyn and so on and so forth. Not Theresa May. I can't remember the names, female MP anyway. And this weird, you know, we're back to Jean-Paul Sartre and Michel Foucault and all that weird stuff. You know, Stuart Hall and all that madness, intersection. It's just weird. And I'm just sick of it, quite frankly. I'm sick of the sort of nonchalance. Just because you think you're a professor or master's degree or whatever, you think you know better. And your stuff's all connected to weird stuff. Satanism, as I call it, that's my catch-all term. And I'll stand on that mountain to my dying breath, quite frankly. You know, it's weird. You're getting caught out. Then we connect that to the, as I call it, the satanic Sunni Dajjal Antichrist, kufr, which is disbelief for those who don't speak Arabic. So that Sunni axis, may Allah curse Abu Bakr, Aisha, Hafsa and Umar al-Khattab. Other points of view are available for balance. I'm a Shia, so I'm biased, of course. And you have to state your biases. But it's all connected. It's all intrinsically linked at a subatomic satanic level. Because clearly goodness, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is free from all this. So that the whole Palestinian genocide, which is occurring as we speak, the mass murder of civilians and so on and so forth, these things are all connected. You can't escape the sort of negative wickedness that is invoked when the enemies of Allah, enemies of Ahlul Bayt, are celebrated. The children suffer. The women and children suffer, naturally. In any sort of war or sort of fight, tussle, whether it's political, in the spiritual sphere, it's always the women and children suffer. And then that leads to the attack, the Hamas attack, October the 7th, of course. We're going back to Balfour, the Zionist sort of endeavour, Sir Ronald Stalls, Lord Curzon, the whole crew who, again, supplanted the satanic mission of British colonialism in Northern Ireland. There's a connection. I've mentioned Sir Ronald Stalls. And then they transplanted the prototype to the Middle East, to Palestine. And that is why we're in the situation that we're in today. People need to discuss it. You can't discuss these matters. I hear a lot, you know, obviously I'm online, I'm on Twitter and TikTok and so on and so forth. My statement is Sunni Islam is satanic Dajjal kufr. That's the label that I sort of share with people to get the debate going. And there is no counter to it. Insulting me, threatening to kill, blah, blah, you know, that's no riposte. The essence and the crux of the matter is when we talk about Gog and Magog in the City of London, Pathé News, do look it up, 1950s. These spiritual matters, these canonical Abrahamic faith matters are at the core, whether you're an atheist into Foucault and Jean-Paul philosophy and, you know, God knows what else, whatever Satanism you're into. It is amongst the elite, amongst the taste makers, amongst the Canaanite Baal, bull worship, Aussie bull worshippers, the Saturnalian, Bacchanalian, devil worshippers. That is at the crux. This is why I mention it week in, week out, even though I'm talking about AI and films and entertainment and so on and so forth. It behoves the listener, it behoves people of conscience to do their research, to do their due diligence. You got to read a Quran. You've got to study a Bible to know what Amalek is. When the IDF are going, Amalek, Amalek, you have to know what these things, the histrionics, where's it all coming from? If you to make sense of it, I mean, we've got Scott Ritter and Vocal, who helped with the inspections, the weapons of mass destruction, Marine, who are very vocal, George Galloway, of course. So there are these voices who, low key, I believe he's doing a gig in Brum for the younger generation. So what was esoteric, what was amongst the academic clerical classes, Syed Amar Naqshbandi, of course, a Shia cleric, a Shia historian, to be specific and precise. It's all hitting the mainstream. It's becoming the bread and butter of reportage from Sky News, BBC, CNN on a daily basis, coupled with the Ukrainian debacle. Well, we shouldn't call it a debacle now. It's Putin has won. The Russians have won. They've defeated NATO. There's no turning back. They're never going to get those territories back because Russia has superior weaponry. It has superior soldiery. It has superior officers. It has superior generals. It has superior everything. It has the moral high ground. Azov Nazis, Banderists, it's a matter for public record. It's well established. So the fact that, going back to Channel 4 News and BBC, I'm speaking in Britain, of course, they have abrogated their duty insofar as their biases to the Germanic, Nazi, aristocratic Satanists of Europe and the British / German Nazi entity. And that is their hypocrisy. That is the exposure of their Churchillian Satanist racism, colonial Satanism, that has really informed and disgraced Sir Keir Starmer on the global stage. So we're now gone full circle to the tariffs of Donald Trump. So the tariff war, because before there's a hot war, if you know your taxonomy and nomenclature, so a Cold War, it's not actually physical fighting between the great powers, it's more through proxies. So with a hot war, that's when World War II, for example, World War One, etc., etc. So when there's and this is history. We're having an academic discussion here. Facts can be verified. So the economic war precedes the hot war. So we're at that stage now with tit for tat. If again, to be fair, Ofcom rules. The tit for tat tariffs, which Trump and President Xi are currently engaged in, is inevitably going to lead to a hot war. It's just the way it goes. Don't be, moaning at Aston or, oh, you bring us on a downer at 7:30, It's coming, yeah. The eschatology of Islam, call it the Malhama, the Great War, Malhama al-Kubra, I should say, to get me Arabic right. The Malhama al-Kubra, big war is a coming. And I was listening to Trump earlier. Again, he's sort of talking about how the surplus, because there's a trade imbalance as far as China makes the goods, sells it to America. America gets into debt, taking on board goods, etc., etc., and so on and so on. And then there's the treasury issues. And we're in a situation where Trump expressed the quiet part out loud. where he's talking about, well, the surplus of dollars that the Communist Party of China has are being used to develop 6th generation fighter jets and cool stuff that potentially can kill Americans. And he's taken umbrage, as he's entitled to do. And Donald Trump, being the master Edward Bernays propagandist that he is, because he's pure showbiz, and you have to have a grasp of Elizabethan 007 John Dee Shakespearean theatrics, because that's all this is. It's pure satanic theatre. Trump, with these tariffs, is doing to the American people, he's whipping up a frenzy. Whether it works or not, Again, people who join the US Army get access to education, bit Starship Troopers-ish. So citizens who volunteer for war get various benefits. So he's whipping up the frenzy so they can pivot, because underpinning all of this is Taiwan, where the chips, the coltan African chips, Africa is the brain of humanity, as we know. That's why we got Newstyle Radio. Yeah, that's what we are. So these coltan crystals, which are the key component for missile systems, guidance systems, satellites, munitions, assets of all description, and so on and so forth, nuclear weapons, it's cut to the chase, computer systems, AI. Taiwan is where the components are built, fabricated. The Trump administration determined to bring the fabrication of these computer chips back to America, which originated at scale, I should say. Wouldn't necessarily, obviously the British, the ARM chip, BBC Micro and all that good stuff, Cambridge and all that good stuff. The chip fabrication has to be brought back to America. The destabilization of Congo must continue, a la King Leopold and all that devilish works, satanic works. And this is what Trump is attempting to do. He's going to fail, of course. Well, he's failing. It's just not going to work. And on TikTok, again, before I came on air, they call them netizens in China. They're making these TikTok videos of obese Americans shambolically assembling computers and sewing, and it's just hilarious, yeah. And this is like hundreds of millions of views, yeah, and it's just hilarious as a visual meme. It's just absolutely hilarious. The idea of an iPhone being manufactured in America. I mean, it's going to cost you like $5,000 a pop. You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. You know, and there's also talk. So that's failure. So it's going to fail. The key thing about, and I'm being scientifically accurate now, the Neanderthal European hybrid, Yoruba and Khoisan, do not have Neanderthal DNA. They're pure humans, traced back to Adam, peace be upon him, of black clay. So the Neanderthal European chimpanzee hybrids, they always fail. This is big failure. It's gonna... NATO's or Europe's finished. USA's finished. I mean, it's just they're just Starmer, Trump. They're just presiding over the complete total collapse of the European Elizabethan John 007D satanic colonizer project. It's dead. It's over. Aston Walker told you first. No other. Channel 4 should be in the BBC. That this is what they should be talking about and how we're going to manage the chaos. Imagine the garbage and trash that you see in Brum. Amplify that across the whole of Europe. Coming soon, yeah. So we're in a terrible state. Add to that Oreshnik, Hazelnut, the hypersonic nukes of Russia, Kinjal, submarines, Poseidons, and it's just a busted flush. And then to add insult to injury, and I'll wrap it up here before I play us out with some classic Alexander McCurris lambasting the incompetence of Keir Starmer. The UFOs, the satanic jinns under the sea have reappeared with their Tic Tacs. Footage, this is via the Daily Mail, of course, Mail Online. The Tic Tac by the USS Jackson has seen, what do they call them? Unidentified aerial phenomenon, UAP, for modern, updated taxonomy. We used to call them UFOs, flying saucers. We don't do that anymore. UAPs. And the jinn biohost, because obviously manufacturing, the jinn, they inhabit the blood of mankind, that's in the Quran, the mental state, because they're an unseen being. So they need a biological host so they can interface with the material spectrum. So they're clearly doing it underseas, where there's a vast, undetected, unseen laboratory. And that's what these things are. In my humble opinion, I should add, yeah. Ofcom rules. Good, right. That was your daily dose of all things happening. Geopolitical, AI. We did a bit of politics, a bit of Sunni Shia polemics. Big thank you to Brent earlier. Great work, sir. Great work. And I will catch you guys next week. Yeah? Peace out. Here's Alexander McCurris.
King's First Minister, and the Prime Minister conducts the business of the King's government in the House of Commons. At least that is the British constitutional theory, of which, somewhat surprisingly, given that he is a lawyer, Keir Starmer seems to be ignorant of. Anyway, let's move on. And, well, we will see how pragmatic and unlike my description of him as a non-entity, a cross between a non-entity and a fanatic, Keir Starmer actually is, because the first paragraphs of his article read as follows. First, it was defence and national security. Now it is the global economy and trade. Old assumptions can no longer be taken for granted. The world as we knew it has gone. We must rise to meet the moment. We are ready for what comes next. The new world is less governed by established rules and more by deals and alliances, an admission that the rules-based international order that we've been hearing so much about is in its dying days, just to say. But anyway, he then goes on to say this, and it was a sentence that really stood out for me. It demands the best of British virtues, cool heads, pragmatism, and a clear understanding of our national interest. Cool heads, pragmatism, and a clear understanding of our national interest. And then, after those words, the words that talk about cool heads, pragmatism, and a clear understanding of our national interest, what does he talk about? Does he talk about steps to protect the car industry, attempts to forge economic relations with other countries around the world, attempts to restart negotiations with Donald Trump to see whether there can be a relaxation of tariffs in British favour, other steps to change or alter or recalibrate the British economy in a way that would address the major challenges which his first words appear to recognise. Why not at all? What topic does he, in fact, immediately turn to? You guessed it, Ukraine. Look how we've responded to Russian aggression in Ukraine. We have stood firm in support for Ukraine. We've convened world leaders. Which world leaders? And worked with our international allies. We boosted our defence spending, the highest sustained increase since the Cold War, not just for the lasting peace of Ukraine, because it's vital to the security of the United Kingdom. Remember, this is supposed to be an article in which Keir Starmer addresses the challenges, the economic challenges that Britain faces. But what is clearly at the forefront of his mind, the thing he immediately comes to, his priority, if you prefer, isn't that at all. It's Ukraine, it's the cause of Ukraine, because Ukraine is vital, or so he believes, to the security of the United Kingdom.
Birmingham's #1 for African arts, culture, and Afro edutainment. 98.7 Newstyle FM.